This is Tar Heel Talk, an in-depth look at the issues and people making news in North Carolina. Here's your host, Sonia Williams.
The holiday season is officially here, that festive time between Thanksgiving and the New Year. 'Tis the season for decorating, shopping, entertaining, and of course, eating. And today's expert will tell us how to enjoy those holiday goodies without packing on the pounds. And joining me now is Honeybeth Wiggs, certified health coach and author. Honeybeth, it's welcome. It's so great to have you here again.
Thank you. I love coming back and encouraging everyone, especially with their health goals.
Absolutely. So we're in the midst of the holiday season. This is a time of year that can be a little bit tricky for people, especially when it comes to maintaining their weight.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it can also be a very stressful time of year, which a lot of people will end up stress eating. And so there are many things that we can do during this holiday season to make sure that we are on track with our health goals. The average American is going to gain between 5 to 10 pounds before the first of the year.
Wow.
And just making some simple choices to be mindful about what you're doing, having a plan of action, and doing a couple tips and tricks is going to prevent that from happening.
So what are some of the things that people need to be mindful of when it comes to managing and keeping those 5 to 10 pounds at bay during the holiday season?
I think the biggest thing that people need to be aware of is really thinking about what they want to accomplish. Where are they right now? Where are you right now with your health? Mm-hmm. If you are not where you want to be, then make a decision that it's not going to get any worse. Or if you're continuing on a health journey, think about, well, where do I want to be by the first of the year? Have those goals in front of you so that you know what you're working towards. It's not just an empty thing of, oh, I'm going to try and do better. No, I am going to work towards this. I am going to work towards walking 30 minutes a day between now and the first of the year. I'm going to work towards eating less sugar, no sodas, that type of thing. So make a decision that you want to make a difference and then have a plan of action. Another thing that is really important is that at a lot of our family gatherings, there's going to be a large display of food.
Yes.
And it turns into an all-day buffet. And really, you think about Thanksgiving, for most people, it's just one meal. It's just one meal. It doesn't have to be a 4-day eating buffet. So one of the things to think about is that you don't want to go to any type of festivity on an empty stomach. So don't save your calories for this one meal. That is a surefire way to let everything turn straight to fat and put you in a sugar coma when you're done. Eat 6 small, low glycemic meals throughout the day. That's what I work with all of my clients on and help them understand is that fueling your body throughout the day is the best way to fuel your body. Just eating low glycemic balanced meals. But go ahead and eat a healthy breakfast and then have a mid-morning snack and either your big lunch or big dinner, but continue to eat throughout the day. The third thing that I would mention is drink plenty of water.
Right.
Most people end up being dehydrated. So the signs of dehydration can be feeling tired or being very hungry. So when you're, yes, those are the 2 signs that you're dehydrated. So if you are feeling very hungry, that's what they always say, go for a wonderful cup of water. Or if you're feeling super tired, more than likely you're dehydrated. The average American loses up to 96 ounces of water a day doing absolutely nothing. So to be able to fill up with water, I just go for 100 ounces a day. You'll be good. So make a decision, have a plan of action, eat frequent small meals throughout the day, drink plenty of water. And then the last thing that I would encourage is start a family tradition that is not centered around food. Everybody go for a walk, go play football out in the yard, do something active, go through family photos. if you're going to a relative's house that you haven't been to in a while, especially if it's an older relative, I guarantee you they've got a box full of pictures that you can relive through and help them sort through it and just do different things to create family memories, games, just things to be active, to get you away from the kitchen, away from where all the food is, and to focus on family and gratitude and these things that the holidays are really about, way more than food. That's where the focus should be.
That's excellent advice. I love the idea of starting a new family tradition and not making everything about food. But you know, being here in the South, food is very much an important part of the holidays and an important part of entertaining. So can you talk a little bit about how to entertain without having just all the chips and the nuts and everything and chocolates out for people to kind of graze on as they're visiting with you? So
there's two things I would encourage you with. Number one, if you are going to somebody's house, take something. Take something healthy. And it could be a salad to share, you know, just a big healthy salad. Find some new recipe to experiment with. What does it matter? Just bring something that is accessible. If it is at your house, one thing that I absolutely love to do is always put out a veggie tray, or have some vegetables out or some fruit out. And this is just one simple tray here. I don't know if you can get a picture of that. But this is just a little bit of vegetables and fruit on one side. And there's a little cooling unit in it, but it is really fantastic. I put this out every single day at home. I homeschool my children and I work at home. So when I put this out, it gets gone. And people go for what is convenient.
Absolutely.
If you put a bowl of chips out, guess what? They're going to get gone.
Yes.
If you put popcorn out, if you put pretzels out, if you put chocolate out, it's going to get gone. I promise you, if you put that out, it's going to get gone too, because people go for what's convenient. So just have a little forethought, make some planning, have some great healthy options, and I promise you, people are going to eat it.
Okay. Excellent advice. We're going to take a break. We'll talk more in just a minute. We'll be back with more on healthy holiday meals after these messages. Over the course of the holiday season, we'll be faced with decadent desserts and other tasty dishes and beverages, but holiday eating doesn't have to expand your waistline. And here to offer healthy holiday options is author and certified health coach Honeybeth Wiggs. Now, before the break, you were talking about how the holidays don't have to be all about food, and we can throw some healthy options in there when we are entertaining, or if we're going to a party, we can bring a healthy dish. Now you have some examples of some fun and tasty items that can lighten up our holiday menu.
Absolutely. There is no reason that we can't have wonderful tasting food without using all of the butter and cream and fat that goes into a lot of recipes. It just takes a little creative thought on what you can use that's a little bit different. And I will start with my little basket of goodies over here.
Okay.
So one thing that people do not realize is that things such as spaghetti squash are absolutely phenomenal. So if you find a spaghetti squash, most people think, well, I don't even know how to cook it.
Right.
Well,
and I don't.
Well, for those of you who don't mind using a microwave, poke a few holes in that bad boy, put it in there for 10 minutes, you're done. And then just cut it open, rake out the seeds, and then take a fork and just scrape it out. So, and it's great with just some salt and pepper, little Parmesan cheese on it. Perfect.
So it has the consistency of noodles?
Yes, it does, of noodles. So it's really great. Super simple to fix too. If you want to roast it in the oven, you might need something very sharp. It's very hard to cut it in half. The other thing is zucchini. A lot of people will use zucchini for zucchini noodles. And right here I have a little noodle maker that you can go in and use it and make some little spiral cut noodles with that. And then also radishes. Radishes are really fantastic. People think I'm crazy when I say this, but honestly, if you were to take those radishes and boil them to where they're almost translucent, They have the consistency, and I even think the flavor of a fingerling potato.
Really?
So you can cook them just like you would. You can make a potato salad with them instead of potatoes. So you're not having all the starches, but you're having a nice, healthy vegetable with that. Another thing that I love is cauliflower. Cauliflower is so versatile, and I know that we were just talking about mashed cauliflower. I think I've made that before and I've done that here, but this time, in most stores in the freezer section, there are packages of riced cauliflower, cauliflower that's already been
done the
riced
work
for you.
for you.
And it's great for stir fries. It's great just to have it anywhere that you would use a typical rice. Well, you can also take that and put it into a food processor and do mashed cauliflower with it. I have some wonderful recipes for mashed cauliflower and all of the things that I have here, so people can definitely connect with me to get those recipes. But I love this little gem right here. This is a loaded baked potato style dish with riced cauliflower. So it's just riced cauliflower with a little bit of sour cream and cheese. And I'm going to see if I can scoop just a little bit out of here for a second so that you can just see the consistency of it.
I see that.
It really does, just look like potato. And it tastes so delicious. This right here, I made a green bean casserole. So how many times have you gone to a Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, had a green bean casserole filled with cream of mushroom soup, heavy cream, the fried onions on it? 1 tablespoon is probably 100 calories. And you know you have more than that, right?
Exactly.
So this is just 3 ingredients. It's simply green beans, minced onion, and Parmesan cheese. And that's it.
Wow.
And it's the same wonderful thing, green bean casserole. This right here, I'm going to scoop a little bit of this out. This is another way that I absolutely love zucchini. So I am going to show, I wanted to do this so you could see the zucchini in there.
That looks delicious.
All you have to do for this is what I call an apple crisp. It tastes like the inside of an apple pie. Now, if you take a zucchini and you cut it in half lengthwise, you just scoop out the innards and then chop it into tiny little slices that look like an apple.
Okay.
And then you just cook it on the stove top with a little bit of, just a tad bit of butter, and you put some apple pie spice on there. I use some sweetener with it, some, not Splenda. You could use Splenda, you can use Truvia, stevia. I use stevia, and also a little bit of cinnamon. Boom, cook it and it's good.
Why the zucchini instead of an apple?
Well, apples are fine. Apples are good. There are some people who are not crazy about apples. There are some people who like to do this just to be able to get more vegetables into their day. Apples too, when you cook them and you start adding sugar to them and all these other things, they just get sweeter and sweeter and sweeter, and the carb content goes up. Yet you have to match your proteins with that. So using a vegetable makes it really great, and you just have a little bit of an oatmeal crumble on it. So those are just ways to make some of the favorites that can be very high and rich in calories a little bit better. The last thing I'll talk about is my little pumpkin pie here. So this is a pumpkin pie recipe. It's just straight off the can, but instead of using all of the sugar that goes with it and condensed milk, I used unsweetened almond milk and stevia, and I did it without a crust. And I made it in these little individual containers so that you have a sugar-free option that's low calorie, topped with a little bit of something fun, and you can still enjoy all of your favorites through the holidays. It's just being mindful about what you're doing, finding some alternatives and different ways to cut down those calories.
And you've got a number of recipes. I just want to talk about a few of them. The creamy roasted cauliflower chowder. I love chowder during the holiday season, and this seems to be a lighter version of something that's still comforting.
It is. Comfort. That comfort food is so wonderful. And when the fall is here in winter, that's all we like to think about are those chilies and those comfort foods. So the chowder is fantastic. It again uses cauliflower that you can use with rice or to put it in a food processor to make it creamy. But again, you're using things like almond milk with it. You're using all different types of dried spices. Dried spices are wonderful. They really add so much flavor to your food. So don't be scared to use them. You don't have to use all the cream and all the fat and all the butter and all the sugar. Use other things like that. But that chowder it's still rich and creamy and hearty, and just give it a try. You're gonna love it.
How can people find out more information, or if they want any of these recipes, to any of the dishes that you provided?
Absolutely. Y'all just email me. We've got my contact information on there. And my email address and my website is legacyofjoyinc.com. So anybody can reach out to me, send me email, or go to the website and fill out the contact information, and I will be glad to pass along these recipes.
Excellent. We're going to take a break. We'll talk more in just a minute. Don't go away. Tar Heel Talk will continue after these messages. Welcome back to Tar Heel Talk. I'm Sonia Williams. 'Tis the season for decorating, shopping, entertaining, and of course, eating. And we've been talking today about healthy options to some of our favorite holiday dishes and how to enjoy all the wonderful food without packing on the pounds. And with us again is Honeybeth Wiggs, certified health coach and author. Now, Honeybeth, you've been giving us some great tips on how to cut calories during the holidays without cutting the taste. You've got some other recipes, one that I cannot wait to try for my family that I want to start with is the feta and Parmesan zucchini bake.
Yes.
That just the fact of that alone, it sounds amazing. And we have a picture. Yeah,
yes.
I can't wait to try this. And you can use squash with it as well.
And squash and zucchini with it is really great. Using egg beaters instead of whole eggs definitely helps keep the calories down as well. But these are things that if you are looking for something to take the place of a cheesy potato dish, this is fantastic because you can still use some wonderful cheeses, but you're using zucchini and squash with it and using a healthier, low glycemic vegetable instead of white potatoes. So it's going to be healthier all around. You can choose lighter cheeses to use, lighter cream. Again, substituting things like unsweetened almond milk, unsweetened coconut milk, and unsweetened cashew milk are some of my favorite things to cook foods with because it adds an extra flavor to it, and the calories are so low compared to creams.
All right, so that's a great tip. Another staple in my house is the deviled eggs. We have to have those throughout the holiday season when we're entertaining, and there's a lighter version of that.
Absolutely. Deviled eggs can definitely be one of the things that'll pack on pounds quickly without you even knowing it. So just using something like Laughing Cow cheese instead of a whole bunch of mayonnaise, because normally it's majorly mayonnaise based. Some people put mustard in it, but when you use the cheese, it just gives it that extra flavor, especially if you use different types of cheeses. They have different flavors of cheeses, and you can make it a chipotle type, so it adds so much more texture to it and keeps the calories so much lower. Again, looking for different items to substitute to make things a little healthier.
Okay. Now, when you talk about making pasta and noodles, you know, some people like to have pasta dishes for their holiday gatherings. You have a great substitute for pasta that can be added to a dish.
I do. So another use of using the zucchini is definitely, I mean, instead of pasta, is using zucchini. Now, I have a very old contraption here, but it works super well. You can go to any type of home goods store and find a zucchini spiral noodle maker. But this one simply, oh, thank you, move that. And this one simply, you turn it, and you're constantly pressing down on it, and then here you go. You've got actual
Excellent.
noodles that you can use for pasta. And you can eat these raw. You don't have to cook them. You don't have to warm them. If you have a very hot and warm sauce, it's going to warm up your noodles as well. But that is so simple. You take half a zucchini, a whole zucchini, and you will fill your plate. And all you have to do is put the sauce on it. Leave out the carbs. You don't have to worry about all of the horrible things that those carbs from those pasta noodles will do for you. You will keep your blood sugars level, and you will have a healthy meal that will not put you to sleep.
I love that idea. Some great alternatives for making healthier holiday dishes. You talked a little bit earlier at the beginning of the show about the holiday season and making it not just about eating and getting caught up in all the festivities, but also a time to make a plan and set some goals for the new year.
Absolutely. The great thing about this time of year is that we have an opportunity to connect or reconnect with family. And we also have an opportunity to look forward to what we want to accomplish. If this year has not turned out quite the way that you wanted it to, it is okay. It is okay. Whether health-wise, whether with personal goals, whatever it might be, it's a great time to just reflect and get a new vision for what you would like to accomplish in your life. And so being with family over the holidays, and a lot of people have some downtime over the holidays too. It's just a good time to reflect on where you've been, where you've come from, where you are now, and what it is you want to accomplish. And moving into the new year, if it is a health goal, then you have plenty of time to start thinking about, well, I can be mindful now, and come the first of the year, these are the steps that I'm going to take. I am going to focus on my eating or my exercise, my sleep, my water intake, all of these things that go into optimal well-being. It's not just one thing, and you know this, it's not just one thing that is going to cause somebody to be optimally healthy. It is things working together. And when all of those things are in alignment, that's when we have an opportunity to really experience what true health is, total well-being for our body.
Absolutely. Now, I know there's some people who may be watching and saying, it's the holidays. We just want to enjoy.
Yes.
We'll think about setting those goals in the new year, like a lot of people do on New Year's Day. What advice would you give to those people about having a balance, maybe, in enjoying the holidays, but also being mindful of what they're doing?
I love that. That is such a great question, because being mindful and allowing yourself to enjoy a little bit of this or that, that is the difference between a diet mindset and a healthy living mindset. Diet mindsets, if you keep telling yourself, I can't have, then eventually you're just gonna not only have, but have 8 million other things along with that. Because if you're constantly telling yourself no, you're not giving yourself the opportunity to say yes. So instead of having a diet mentality, an all or nothing mentality, having a healthy living mentality is the way to go. So to your point, if Thanksgiving is coming and you're thinking, I'm okay with the side dishes and the turkey, but that dessert, I know my grandma makes the best pecan pie, or pecan, whichever part of the country you come from, and I'm gonna have some. Well, then have it. I tell a lot of my clients, do a 3 tablespoon rule. If there's something that you really love, a sweet potato casserole, take 3 tablespoons of it and enjoy every bite of it. Don't eat the whole thing. If you want a piece of cake, then say, I'm going to take 3 bites of this cake, or I'm going to have that whole piece of cake, and let that be good. Enjoy it, savor it, look forward to it, but don't make it a piece of mindset where all you're focused on is, oh, I've got to eat that cake. No. Allow yourself that freedom to enjoy.
Excellent advice.
That's what the holidays are about.
Absolutely, absolutely. And people can find out more about your recipes and information by going to Legacy of Joy inc.com.
Yep.
Honey Beth, it's always a pleasure to have you here with us. Thank you so much for being here with us again
You're
today.
welcome. Thank you for
All
having
right,
me.
Great. That's it for this week's Tar Heel Talk. To comment on this or other episodes of the show, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, or send an email to tarheeltalk@fox50.com. I'm Sonia Williams. Thanks so much for watching. Have a happy and healthy holiday season.